Welcome back. In the last class, we introduced sass, a CSS preprocessor. In this class, let's install it. Now, if you downloaded the exercise file provided for this course, you may have observed there are two folders there, the finish and the start folder. If you look in the start folder, you see it contains asset folder, which in turn contains images, and of course the images we're going to use later in the course project. And also it contains the index.html, which is just having the skeleton of an HTML document. Okay, for us to use sass in a framework agnostic way like this, when I say framework agnostic, I mean we're not using any framework like React, Next.js, and so on. We just have to manually create things ourselves. And one of the things we need to have Node.js installed here is to create a file called package.json. That's a way of saying we are initializing a new project. But for us to create that package.json file, we need to have Node.js installed in our machine. I already have Node.js installed in my computer, but for you, you have to have it installed. And to install Node.js is pretty simple. All you need to do is to go to the nodejs.org website. Here it is. Choose the appropriate installer for your own particular operating system, install it, and you'll be good to go. So pause the video, download the appropriate installer for your own operating system, install it, and continue watching. Okay, that being said, the first thing we're going to do now is to initialize a new project. And to initialize a new project, having installed Node.js is pretty simple. All I need to do is to run the command npm init. To run your command, you could use the terminal that comes with your machine. In the case of Windows, that's the command prompt, or integrated terminal that comes with your text editor. Most of the popular text editor has one terminal or the other integrated in it. Now, for VS Code, there is a terminal there. I've zoomed in a bit on this editor so you can't see it on the fly. But if I click on this triple dot, here is terminal, and I can open a new terminal. But of course, if you are comfortable working with, or if you do not have any built-in terminal in your own text editor, you could go ahead with the terminal that comes with your computer. So I'll wait for the terminal to fully initialize. Okay, so now I have the terminal open and it's pointing to the CSS architecture parent folder, but I will have to cd to the start folder. So cd start, cd daemon change directory, and I'm in the start folder directory. That's what we need now. So here I will simply enter npm init, where init there means initialize. Now if I hit enter, this utility is going to ask me a couple of questions. Most of the time the default answer suffice. Okay, so now it's same package name, and if you look at it, it picks start by default because it understands in a project directory named start. So since I'm practicing, I can just accept it. So hit enter. Version 1, hit enter. Description, you could provide whatever descriptions you want, but we are just practicing, so I don't need any of that. Enter. Index.js, if we were doing a Node.js application, this will be the entry point, but we're not doing Node.js, so enter. Text command, enter. Git repository, enter. Keywords, author, you can provide your name if you so care. I don't here, so enter. And license, enter. And are you done? So yes. Is this okay for you? Yes. So enter, and I have that package created. If you look at your project directory now, there you have package.json right there. And when you look at the options here, or the values here, these are the default values you accepted when you were initializing that project. From here, you can actually change any of them. For example, I can change the name from start to whatever I choose. I can enter an author, descriptions, and all of that. Next is to install sass. There are a couple of sass packages out there. We have Node sass, Gob sass, and so on, and sass also. Until now, the Node sass happened to be the most popular one, but that project is no longer being maintained, and the recommended CSS preprocessor now, if you have to use it, is sass. So we're going to install a package called sass. And to install a package in the context of npm is to say npm I, where I stand for install. And if I'm not so lazy, I can type out everything. Install sass dash dash save dash dev. The save dev option or flag means that this is a package that I need during development. That's the dev there, during development. It is not necessary for the production build. I only need it during development. So I want to save it as a dev dependencies, that is at a package that I need during development. So if I hit enter now, it should begin the installation of the package. That could take a couple of seconds or minutes depending on your own particular system. So let's wait for the installation to complete. Okay, so now my installation is complete. If you look at your package.json now, you see another entry called dev dependencies with sass, the package we just installed, sitting right there. And the version is 1.7.7.6, So now we have sass installed. I have fulfilled the first requirement to use sass in the project. So if you've done it up to this point, congratulations. But before we wrap up, let me show you something. If you notice, you see that beside the package you just installed, there's now another folder called node modules that is in our project directory. Now, this is the folder that contains the actual package that we just installed. And if you look in there, you see sass. This is the package we just installed. This is the actual program itself. Every other package you're going to install for a project, it's going to be in the node module. Now, if we're pushing these to GitHub or any of your favorite version control system, we will exclude this node module because what we will need eventually is the package.json file. So whoever I send this package.json file can install this sass. So now we're done with the first step in using sass. In the next lesson, we're going to configure some files, the input file, output file, and the script that will convert our code written in sass to its equivalent in CSS. So see you there.